believe you have some sort of talent. And for those that have any doubt whatsoever that Michael Richards is a Mason, just take a look here. Just like I showed earlier with Bill Cosby doing the one eye symbolism, this is their way of showing their allegiance. The ones that own and control them, basically what it all comes down to. Again, like I showed earlier with Bill Cosby doing the one eye symbolism and wearing the Masonic fez. Now, some more photos of Michael Richards. Again, right here wearing the basically the Masonic cap and being on the cover of this Freemason magazine, Beyond the Symbols, and that's what they're all about. Sign symbols.
Signs and symbols
and
rule the
thumb
world.
on the chin. Another Masonic symbol. Now, this is very touchy, but it needs to be shown just for demonstration purposes how far they go to basically simulate reality. And just like the O.J. Simpson case that I demonstrated many times, nothing more than a hoax and a stunt. You can check my channel if you have not seen those videos. It's all about the divide and conquer. Take a look at this video. Of course, the racial comments made towards audience members, and of course, stage 100%, all part of the Matrix. Take a look.
Yeah.
Of course, this is all about outrage, just like all the other news stories that I covered.
Divide and conquer.
With these hoaxes and psyops, with the supposed affair with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, and of course with Bill Cosby, which I show in the very beginning of this video, and the supposed rapes that never took place.
Right.
You know, completely ridiculous. But again, they must partake in these basically simulation reality events. This is how they control, again, the Matrix with these news stories that they control from start to finish. And a lot of people are not going to get it. How would these people agree to partake in these events? These are very, of course, sensitive issues. And how can they agree to take part in something that's fabricated that basically, you know, puts a bad mark on them, makes them look very bad? But again, they're simulating a reality. They're all partaking in it.
Because we live in a simulation, you know, we live in a rigged reality. You know, this stuff with Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein, and, you know, Harvey Weinstein, you know, it's all by design. You know, it's all a part of the fakery. You know, they're very good actors. You know, a lot of these stories be, you know, made up by the elites.
Just like a movie, this world system is basically nothing but a stage. And again, they make it look as real as possible. And the so-called media, which is nothing more than government-controlled, state-run TV, it gives them the illusion like no one's above the law. And we're going to expose them if they're doing something that's underhanded or illegal. But again, that's part of the illusion.
Title: Industry Bloodlines, Rituals and Ruins. Intro: spoken over droning ambience, muffled TV static. This NT about scandal. It's about sacrament. Blood rights behind the broadcast. They call it fame. I call it famine of the soul. Verse 1, Cosby unmasked, immortal technique influence. Cosby with the halo on set, offset, ESA predator in debt to the hex. Pills in the chalice, teen flesh numb, while execs toast with serpent tongues. You think prison was the end of the tale? Not, it was a public crucifixion Masonic trail. Black cube rituals in a concrete womb, he paid for protection with souls in the room. You watched him rise, then watched him decay, but it was all scripted like a Broadway play. They fed him girls like pigs to a feast, and filmed the chaos like a demonic priest. So don't talk justice, talk obedience. He fell by design, not disobedience. Look, chanting, distorted, cruel style ambience. Industry bloodlines, bleeding divine, Famous just a mask with a fracture in time. From Cosby's fall to Brown's ascent, it's a chessboard scarred with ritual intent. Sacrifice dressed in scandal disguise, you see the lights but not the knives. Plants in the garden of televised pain, all of them dancing in Lucifer's name. Verse 2, Chris Brown ritual, symbolism and other examples. Chris Brown beat her black and blue, but behind the act was a deeper clue. He didn't snap, he was handed a script, another lamb baptized in a bloody eclipse. They needed him raw, needed him feared, so they painted him mad, then the dollars appeared. Sacrifice by violence, same with Yev, speak the truth and they paint you deranged. Britney, head shaved like a nun in despair, crucified with meds in a velvet chair. MJ danced with demons on screen, tried to warn us then died clean. Avicii uncovered the trade of flesh, then suicide like all the rest. This ain't coincidence, it's a doctrine, blood seals broken inside the auction. Look, heavier, immortal delivery with curls gloom in the beat. Industry bloodlines, bleeding divine, famous just a mask with a fracture in time. From Cosby's fall to Brown's ascent, it's a chessboard scarred with ritual intent. Sacrifice dressed in scandal disguise, you see the lights but not the knives. Plants in the garden of televised pain, all of them dancing in Lucifer's name. Bridge, spoken word over dark jazz keys, King Curl tone. You ever stare into a mirror that lies, see your reflection blink back reptile eyes, these are clones in Gucci suits, marionettes wired to secret roots. Industry and music, it's murder with melody, every hook's a noose, every show's a felony. You thought it was fame, not it's alchemy with veins full of chains. Verse 3, conclusion, raw flow meets abstract imagery. Bill wasn't a lone wolf, he was bred, groomed by the order to silence the dead. They paved his legacy with the bones of the youth, then offered him up when the timing was truth. Chris took the blow, but his numbers spiked, that NT scandal, that's a demonic right. You call it cancel, I call it craft, a phoenix rises when its ego is slashed. So who's next, who signs with blood, who'll drink champagne in a crimson flood? They plant M, break M, sell M in chains, and make us cheer while they rot our brains. But INT sleepin', I pen what they hide. A verse for the fallen, a knife to the lie. Final hook, all vocals layered, chaotic, hypnotic energy. Industry bloodlines, bleeding divine, famous just a mask with a fracture in time. From Cosby's fall to Brown's ascent, it's a chessboard scarred with ritual intent. Sacrifice dressed in scandal disguise, you see the lights but not the knives. Plants in the garden of televised pain, all of them dancing in Lucifer's name. Outro, spoken slowly, over low crackling vinyl loop. They don't fall by accident. They don't rise without blood. It's not fame, it's famine. And you're watching the feast.